Welcome back, and joining us to put the day's markets action into perspective is David Shapiro from Sasfin Securities. I don't know why when we come back on air, David, it seems to disrupt our conversation. We'd much rather just talk the whole day, but let's get to what happened in the markets today. Of course, we've come back and the markets are digesting what the Fed said. Of course, as expected, rates unchanged. But what did you make of the messaging around or after that decision there?
You know, it's interesting because there was Champions League football and there was the Fed, and I had to keep switching between the two.
Understandable.
And out of choice, I would have rather watched the full football, but I felt that it was a responsibility of mine to really understand what Jay Powell said. It's not the most riveting stuff to listen to, but you got a sense that exactly as the media has covered, that we're not going to see further rate hikes, and the next move is down, and it's all a matter of when it's down. Just listening to commentary afterward, there seemed to be a bit of frustration moving in, simply because they rely on data. It's data dependent rather, so it's reactive rather than being proactive. What that means, I'm not quite sure. I mean, whether it's proactive in the sense of getting the US economy going, yes, the job side of it is employment side strong, people are spending, but not as strong as they used to. So there is a bit of edginess saying, look, some of the data coming through is a little worrying on the underlying economy. Maybe something has to be done. So the other question is that the discussion was that there's a view that if he's going to do anything, he'll only do it after the election. That's not true. Most people say no. They will do what they have to do without being influenced by the election. So Natalie, we're going nowhere. We're just kind of bumbling along in a narrow range while people try and work out where the US economy is going.
Yeah.
The one positive sign have been corporate results, which have been very strong. And I think that's underpinning the market, even though it's not pushing it hugely higher, it is kind of forming some foundation.
Well, let's get to those corporate results, but particularly on the JSE, you talk about frustration, and I can imagine that a lot of shareholders for Life Healthcare have experienced quite a bit of frustration because that share has been under pressure for the longest time. And of course, today is no exception. We did see a slump in that share price by about 7% after they released their trading statement there for the interim period. I noticed that revenues didn't quite translate to growth in the core profit. I mean, is that what had the markets bothered today, or were there other things?
I can't make head or tail of it. I can't make sense of it, because when you read through it, it doesn't read badly. They've got rid of the offshore business, and they've paid it out in a dividend. A lot of people, and that's why the charts sometimes look distorted, because it was a dividend. But it just seemed, why it was marked down today against these results, I'm not quite sure. So it's again, we have, the healthcare sector, it's also a difficult sector. It's very difficult to expand against the kind of political backdrop that we have here. Also against an economy that's going nowhere, going sideways. So population not growing, how can I say, people are not getting that much richer, and therefore perhaps can't afford the medical care that they would like. But it's not a bad operation. They're doing well. Anyway, spending a lot of time around something I don't really have a grip on.
Well, I mean, talking about sideways, MTN's share price, of course, we know that is very vulnerable to a lot of things. They did release their MTN Ghana quarterly results today, after last week releasing the results from Nigeria, where they saw a loss there. But seeming that they're doing quite well in Ghana, even though they did, of course, report on some of the macroeconomic headwinds. We did see service growth growing almost a third, and core profit growth of 31.6%. What did you make of those numbers in that region?
But no, they are doing better than they're doing in Nigeria, which is not much of a comparison. But and Nigeria is still a challenge. It's a massive challenge because of the naira, because of the currency that they're earning. They can't just go and say, okay, we dollar earners, we're going to put this up 20 times. They lose every customer. So it's a massive issue for them. And if you look at the share price, it just seems to be winding down. We get these periods where it picks up and we think, okay, it's starting to turn, and then it weakens again. So at the moment, it still looks like there are more sellers around and more concerned people than there are positive people.
Yeah, all right.
But they've always been a good operation and always in the areas, but you're dealing with different dynamics now. You're dealing with really, I don't want to call it geopolitical, it's almost geo-economical issues.
True, yeah. All right. Well, David.
The only thing is that it doesn't make it a buy for us.
Okay.
It just keeps pushing us away. And say, okay,
right.
let's wait. All right, too early. Let's see what happens. You can't get excited about it.
Still quite a lot of risks over there. Well, let's zoom into positivity, David. Let's get to your stock pick for today.
Me and weight loss drugs are, Novo Nordisk came out with their numbers, and once again, they continue to sell their Wegovy the sales were double. Yes, they were slightly disappointed. The reason they're coming down, there's the issues with the FDA, the issues with the US, who are feeling they're charging too much. And the reason is it's in what they call, I think, in the pen or whatever they inject you with. I don't know what it's called. And they can't get enough of those, and those are expensive. So there's pressure on them to lower rates, and I think that's why you find both Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk share price. But the underlying sales just continues to grow, and this is a real drug with a real big, massive market, and not as I said, the celebrity market, for those celebrities who want to lose a few Ks or something, but rather for people who really need this product. So. I keep watching it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for your insights today, David. Much appreciated. That was David Shapiro from Sasfin Securities.